Hey everybody, it's the Gardener here, with some Beggar's Bazooka gameplay on the new map Special Delivery Doomsday. Right, I got it right this time. But, yeah, the Beggar's Bazooka, the new rocket launcher the soldier got during the Pyromania update. It's, the only weapon from the update I've been able to craft so far. In a few days, I'll definitely be able to give you some new sniper weapon gameplay. Just at the time that I recorded this gameplay, I didn't have those items yet, because I wasn't sure whether I wanted them. So just to play it safe, I love the soldier class, I crafted this one instead. And let me just give you my thoughts on this weapon. Oh, I didn't burn to death. I thought I was going to burn to death there. But yeah, my thoughts on this weapon. Oh, first the stats, in case some of you didn't know. The main feature of this rocket launcher is that when you hold down the fire button, you can load up to 3 rockets into the chamber. When you let go of the fire button, you unleash the pain. Like, all 3 rockets, all 3 of them, they just come shooting out in extremely quick succession. And you basically mop the floor. But there are some big downsides to this weapon, too. The first downside, which I think is one of the biggest, is when you shoot these rockets, you don't exactly know where they're going. There's up to a 3-degree, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a potential for 3 degrees of variation in the rocket trajectory, which means that, your rockets are slightly skewed. They won't follow the crosshair exactly, which means at long range you can't snipe sentry nests or anything like that. This rocket launcher is, sort of restricted to an ambush role, almost. Or at least a close quarters type of weapon, because at long range the trajectory is just not predictable. One of the other downsides, when you load more than 3 rockets into the chamber, when you do that, you don't want to do that, trust me, because when you do that, you inflict 160 self-damage on yourself. It's really painful, and it's called a misfire. Yeah, it hurts. Don't do that. You gotta make sure that you only load 3 at a maximum. And the last downside, you cannot collect ammo from dispensers. To be honest, I haven't felt this downside a whole lot, mostly because as sort of a roaming soldier, I don't go to dispensers usually. But it does become a pain in the ass when you're low on ammo and you go to a dispenser to heal up your health. And you can't get your ammo back at the same time, you have to take time out of your game to do that. But those are the stats right there. And what do I think about this weapon? Let me think about that. Let me think about that for a second. I really want to like this weapon. I really do. Because it's got that cool factor about it, You're shooting 3 fucking rockets out of your gun. Look at that. You see that. That's just... You can't argue with that. 3 rockets at once. I mean, it's the ultimate spam gun. But even though it's kind of a stupid thing, it's still really fun to use, But when you come down to the practicality of this weapon, I do not see myself using this weapon in the long term. I really do not. Because I'm going to have to go back to the rocket launcher eventually, just the stock rocket launcher, because when you get into a one-on-one fight with this rocket launcher, and you don't have any rockets loaded, it's really painful. It really is. It takes a long time to just chamber 1 rocket and fire it. And when a pyro or something is in your face, and he's fucking you up, you don't have the luxury of being able to wait for that rocket to load. It's the same thing with a scout. When he's up in your face, and time is critical, you don't have the time to just ditz around and load 1 rocket at a time, and then shoot the rocket without knowing where exactly it's going to go because the projectiles deviate so much. It's painful. It really is. I mean, I think my strongest first impression of this weapon is that it hurts to use it, I feel like a pain inside me when I try to just do basic soldier things like rocket jump, because I don't have any rockets loaded. I can't rocket jump at that easily, you know? No rockets loaded, I have to wait for the rocket to chamber and then jump. You have to think about these regular soldier things that you shouldn't have to think about. And at the end of the day, that makes this weapon kind of, I don't want to say bad, but not practical, you know? It's one of these TF2 weapons, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. One of these TF2 weapons where it's just for fun. Sort of like the Machina, you know? It makes a cool effect when you shoot it. It's fun to use, but is it one of the best or the best in general? No, it is not. And that's sort of what makes me sad about this weapon. I mean, I've used this weapon for, you know, a lot of games so far, and I stick by what I've said in every regard. It's just, this weapon, I play soldier a lot, so I want to love this weapon. I really do. I wish this weapon could be my soulmate because it shoots 3 fucking rockets at once, but it's just not going to happen. It just has too many ridiculous downsides. It's got too many downsides for me to handle. It really does. So, me and the Beggar's Bazooka are probably going to be breaking up and dissolving our relationship shortly. But we're going to enjoy what little time we have left, you know? I'm definitely going to post a few more gameplays of this weapon in the future, because it's fun, you know? No other rocket launcher has made me feel so, like, childish for so long. Because this weapon really is childish, you know? You don't aim, you just shoot a dozen rockets, and you kill snipers! Look at that sniper! What's he gonna do? Nothing. That's like the trademark of this weapon. It's not really reliable, but when you do get a kill with it, you make the other person feel really bad, you know? Yeah. It's a blast to use. And, you know, while I say it's a bad weapon, if you have the materials to craft it, go right ahead and craft it, because it's hilarious. It's really fun to use. You'll get a good kick out of it. You really will. And it costs, let's see now. I think it costs 3 direct hits and 1 reclaimed metal, so let me say that again. 3 direct hits and 1 reclaimed metal. Now go right ahead and craft that, because this thing is a fucking hilarious thing to use. It's ridiculous. I just don't know what to say about this gun anymore. It's just so funny. Yeah, don't use it if you want a top frag, though. Unless you're on defense, on payload or something. Well, I forgot to mention, this gun, I'm telling you guys right now it's a bad weapon, sort of, but it really depends a lot on the situation you're using it in. If you're on a payload defense type thing, this gun I think is really good. You know, all around this gun isn't that great, but on payload defense, it kicks ass because you know where people are going to be. I mean, everybody on offense is around the cart. That's just the way it is. So if you can put all 3 of those rockets on the cart reliably every time you chamber the rockets, you are doing some serious damage. You can hold back, like, a majority of the blue team all by yourself, you know? Just, you unleash so much pain. It's quite ridiculous. But, overall, on any offense situation, or in any situation like Special Delivery Doomsday right here, on any map like this, where there is no offense, there is no defense, it's bad. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.